Hello, and welcome back to the second devlog of my physics-based mountain biking game. This month, I focus on refining the movement scripts, as well as learning how to include procedural animation. This is something that I mentioned in the first devlog, where currently the bike feels pretty basic since the pedals don't move properly. So I started experimenting with how we can rotate the gear and pedals. We can do this with hinge joints in Unity, but since we're going to have a character whose feet are going to be attached to a position on the pedal, it's going to be awkward if the foot is jittering a lot and moving around quite a bit. So I'm going to stick with doing a simple rotating script. So we can grab the rotation of the gear, and all we do is inverse that value. Mixamo has a great library of characters and animations, so I grabbed a few animations that I thought looked pretty good. I really like this character model and the stylization of it. I think it works pretty well with the kind of game I'm trying to make. And I might change a few things with the environment to match this style, but we'll see. We can set a position which serves as the IK of the character, so we can manipulate those positions in code when the game is running. I've never used procedural animation before, but thankfully there's a lot of documentation that Unity has and other great tutorials. Of course, this still comes with a lot of challenges. This took a lot of trial and error to get right, and mostly because when you're using an existing animation, you have to override a lot of positions. The biggest challenge for me right now is getting the hands to properly move with the handlebars. I think the distance between her shoulder and the handlebar is a little bit too long, but I think in the future I'm going to solve this with having the player lean forward and back, so when you brake, the player leans forward a bit, and if you lean back, the character's weight kind of moves upward. So hopefully that will be something that I'll figure out in the future. It's something that I was still trying to figure out though, because it is kind of complex for me, and it was a little bit frustrating trying to get this working. Overall though, I'm really happy with the progress of the movement system. I was able to get the turning of the bike to feel a lot more natural and a little bit more control. It feels good to do quick turns and ride backwards. It actually feels a lot better than before. One thing that I'm keeping in mind and when I keep updating the bike is part of the gameplay I want to have is the player changing gears for going up steeper hills and adjusting your speed. Also, early on in the month, a friend of mine and I participated in the Global Game Jam this year. The theme this year was Roots, and it was a little game that we worked on in the span of a weekend, and it was a lot of fun working on a small project like this. The goal of the game is to escape off of a small island, and you need to solve a puzzle in order to grow the roots around the island into other areas. It's fun to work on other smaller projects, just to kind of get a fresh start on a few things, but user interface design is something that I focus on quite a bit in the game jam, and I'm going to translate some of these systems in the jam into the bike game. I think I'm going to focus the next devlog on UI design as well as some level design aspects with the map. I'm thinking I want to design the levels to be pretty linear. I thought a little bit about procedurally generated levels, but I don't think I really want to do that. But let me know what you think, and if there's any other things you'd like to see in the game. Thanks for watching.